All right, man. I just want to get into this for a brief moment. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. But Bob Arum, I mean, he's doing what he feels is best for Top Rank and what he feels is best for the fighters in his stable. So I just read an article that he's getting ready to, well, not getting ready to, that he already has made a deal with ESPN and ESPN Plus for the next 7 years. So I think it's going to extend the contract that he has with him is going to extend into 2025 or 2025 or 2024, something like that. I'll leave all of that information in the description, um, and I'll also leave the link in the description so you guys can go and check it out yourself because I could be quoting the article, misquoting the article. So um, what that means, in my opinion, um, is that unless fighters are willing to cross over and fight on ESPN uh, to try to fight one of Bob Arum's fighters, most of these fights that you guys want to see are not going to happen. You know, especially ones dealing with Terrence Crawford or Lomachenko. Those are his two significant fighters in his stable. All the rest of them are just kind of, they're irrelevant right now in the sport of boxing. But those two are the top names that you guys want to see get in the ring with the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, with the likes of Errol Spence and other people at 147, fighting for the WBC. So, um, it's gonna get interesting, man, in the sport of boxing real soon. I like kind of like what he's doing as far as boxing being relevant and being on television on a consistent basis. I like that. With he's gonna have 54. I think he's inked in for 54 fights. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of boxing on ESPN, and what they want to do with the app is bring you a platform for boxing, because boxing does not truly have a platform. This is why we're out here doing these videos. People that want to chime in on the sport of boxing and kind of do their own little reporting and talking about boxing, because if they actually had a platform where boxing is being spewed out to the public every day, we would be irrelevant. Um, so to speak, because I mean, sometimes the fans come up with a lot of information, and they start hitting the other fans with info that's not being spewed out on these platforms a certain way, and sometimes you kind of want your information to come from a true place, in people's hearts, and information that's coming from a unbiased mind, things like that. So that's what some of these channels have to offer. But inking a 54 fight deal for the next 7 years is great. I mean, it's great for boxing fans that want to tune in and be able to turn on to ESPN and watch boxing. You might not know all of the fighters, but that's going to give you a chance to recognize a lot of the fighters in the sport of boxing, and get familiar with these guys. And it's easier for them to start trying to build a following, and you know, and just so you'll be able to follow up with whatever, I guess, content they want to put out on ESPN Plus. You'll be able to do that. From what I'm reading about on ESPN Plus, is that you'll be able to go and tune in to all of the fights on ESPN Plus, and you'll also be able to watch the roundtable discussions, and you'll be able to see all of the weigh-ins for all of the fights. And what else did they say about? Let me see. You'll be able to see all of the weigh-ins. You'll be able to have the roundtable discussions, and and you'll be able to go back and watch the fights that you missed. So they're gonna have all of the fights that took place placed on ESPN Plus, so you'll be able to go back and catch them if you missed them. So I think that's pretty phenomenal, what they have going on with Top Rank and ESPN. So Walt Disney seems to be on board with what Top Rank wants to do with boxing, and I think that it's a start. But like I said, where it gets interesting is that you're not gonna, unless these fighters like Al Heyman's fighters, everybody that's fighting under the PBC moniker, um, unless they're willing to cross over and make a deal with ESPN and Bob Arum, because he's already inked in for 7 years. Unless they're willing to do that, a lot of those fights are not going to take place. We're not going to see them. We're not going to, these guys are not going to do it because now everybody's trying to. I just had this discussion with my brother yesterday. We were discussing, all the fighters in the UK and everything that's going on with, what's my guy's name? You guys know the promotional name for Anthony Joshua. I'll think of his name in a minute, but what he's doing, he's trying to, get his stable over in the UK and have everybody that's fighting in that area, Asia and everywhere else, to kind of sign underneath his moniker. And then you got PBC doing this thing with Showtime. So, HBO, I don't know what they're doing. I haven't read anything about HBO. I don't know which direction they're going to be going in. But, I see what PBC is doing and Showtime. I see what ESPN is doing with the ESPN Plus app and Top Rank. So, hey, we'll see what happens in the future. But right now, like I said, you're probably not going to be seeing some of the fights that you really want to see unless, still, these fighters are willing to cross over and pay a significant fee, to fight on these networks. So, and then they still going to have to deal with each other. Bob Arum, Al Heyman, Anthony Joshua's promoter. We'll see what happens, man. But I know for sure that when it starts boiling down to pay-per-view, because that's what my guy in the UK wants to do. You guys can give me his name in the description, not in the description, but in the comments. I forget his name right now. But he wants to, generate funds through his app. Like I told you guys in the last video, DAZN or DAZN or whatever it's called. He wants you to be paying a premium of I think like $20 every week, $20 to $25 every week to utilize his app, and his app is going to be doing the same thing as ESPN Plus. So Bob Arum's article was coming out a week prior to, a week later, after Anthony Joshua's promoter just dropped his information on what he wants to do with DAZN or DAZN, that app that he's going to be releasing real soon. So, and he wants to put all of his content through the app, everything through the app, everything, everything broadcast, everything through the app, so he doesn't have really a network to go to where you have to subscribe to the network and then jump over and then subscribe to DAZN or DAZN, so he wants you to basically pay him for everything that he's going to be streaming live through the app. So he's going to be basically collecting the revenues from all of that because it's his project. Unlike with what Bob Arum is doing, ESPN is the one is handling pretty much all of the promotion of the fights because it's a large network. So he just inked a deal to basically help him do all of the promotion. So they get to run everything on ESPN the way that he wants it done. You don't have to wait, and go through HBO and try to get something through Showtime, and fans got to try to subscribe, through Showtime or HBO to try to catch these fights, when you can just tune in to ESPN every day and find out what's going on, and you know it's gonna be publicized on their sporting platform. But anyway, that's all I got. Like I said, I'll have all of the information in the description. You guys can look at it for yourself. Let me know what you think about it. But you know, boxing is headed in a different direction than what you guys think is going to. So anyway, peace.